Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Safarian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Here we go. White 90. White
90. Looking to throw on second down. Davis dumps it off to Fournette. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
Yeah, hoping to get rid of that interception bug. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We worked a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Watson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And as this offense makes their way Back out, NFC playoff race time. We give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
They go play action here on first down. Oh, fighting off the defender. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. And let's look here at the Houston offense.
Despite a rookie season cut short with a torn Achilles, Deontay Foreman showed flashes of being a big-time running back in the NFL. In college, he looked like a runaway freight train. A big guy that not many people wanted to get in front of. That didn't change in the NFL. Once he got a little bit of room and started to rumble, people had to make business decisions in the secondary.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Davis now. Flush to his right. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Flex round! Flex round!
Looking to throw. Davis. Caught. Safarian Jenkins, right side. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The numbers a week ago for Westbrook. 3 catches, 73 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A very solid gain of 27. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Davis now. From the gun, he'll throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, it creates a penalty.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Now Davis. Going to throw again. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Oh, shifty.
Whoa.
And all the way down to the 39. A huge play there on the screen pass. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back to throw. Davis. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Here's Davis. On 1st and 10. He's going to loft one. Deep left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big third down play there for the Jags. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Davis off the play fake. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. The 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. A huge play there on the screen pass. 43 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Watson to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Watson on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Again, it's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it. Complete. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And Bullock will put this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Buying time to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Flex round! Flex round!
To throw on 2nd down, Davis. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Davis now operating from the gun. Looking deep downfield. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll try and throw for it here. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it is the Jets who have the lead late in the second quarter. Jermaine Kearse, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. It was Taven Bryan who got him down defensively. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Out of the gun, Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw, Watson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Dante Fowler in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Here's Ryan Allen now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now Davis looking to throw on second down. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
What partner they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A shotgun snap for Watson, and it's incomplete. There was the free safety to Sean Gibson, who was able to range over and knock it away.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find an open spot for the quarterback to deliver the ball.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Back 22! Back 22!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field.
That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch. Doesn't count, and he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
And now Sean McDermott's made the call. They'll go for 2.
Down! Who ready?
They're going to run it left. And he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Now, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return, then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Automatic first
Talk
down.
about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Looking to throw. Davis. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle, because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there for sack number 22 on the year. Just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And Bullock will put this one through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, then stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for it now.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage. But not much. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Here's Davis throwing on 3rd and long. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
All right, zero rooting interest in it, but that one hurt.
Well, yeah, you're losing in the 4th quarter. A bad time for a fumble on a punt return.
They had an opportunity. All right, they were sensing. They're down on the scoreboard, and now they just gave that one up.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They begin with a run by Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, you know, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth-quarter advantage.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Back to throw. Davis. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. Looking to throw. Davis. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Davis on 3rd and 2. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. My goodness, make it 5 sacks for him now in this one game alone.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 22.
I remember being taught that cliches have become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that Easter time?
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here's Watson now on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Davis now on 1st down. Looking long for Westbrook. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on...
Touchdown, Houston! DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up. Because Frank Reich, at Maryland in college, did it to my Tennessee Volunteer.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Davis. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call.
Holding offense.
So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Bullock good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Davis throwing on first down. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Whitney merciless in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Andre Howe. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Hopkins. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up 4th down. And Bullock will put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Davis fighting. He loses the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Texans, the win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place, but could stand to get deeper and younger all around. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.